Hey, what's going on, everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back today with another daily crypto update. One of the things that I wanted to talk about in this video is that cryptos are in a situation right now where the next few days are going to be very critical as far as telling us what's going to happen next. We are either going to get a pretty big drop or we're going to manage to slowly but surely climb higher. Right now we're still in some consolidation and really waiting at the edge of our support level to see if we can move higher or what the next move is, basically. I'm going to cover all of this in our technical analysis, of course, in just a second, and a lot of it is going to be kind of reliant on what's going to happen with Bitcoin, right? It is usually the market leader, and this time it should be no different. So Bitcoin will probably decide where the market will be going next, and like I said, there is definitely quite a bit of downside left, so we have to be careful here. Across the market today, over the past 24 hours, we can see that we're pretty mixed. Some cryptocurrencies not doing bad, EOS and Tron up nicely, but as you can see, Bitcoin still struggling a bit, Ripple as well, and we're just overall relatively mixed here across the board. Nothing crazy happening today. Make sure to follow me on Twitter for live cryptocurrency market updates, and make sure to check out my premium content for monthly cryptocurrency buying opportunities. I have a link to both those in the description of this video. And let's get started with the Bitcoin technical analysis. So right now we're in this consolidation, basically. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a bit. But we're really trading between that 6,500 mark and our downtrend line. So any move below $6,500 will probably push us down to our next support level, which is at $5,000. And not far from that $5,000 mark is our long-term uptrend line, a little bit closer to $4,000, which we could definitely test pretty easily if we start moving towards $5,000. But $5,000, definitely the next support level after 6,500, and that's why we want to make sure that we remain above that $6,500 mark. As you can see, we have a pretty flat candlestick right here, kind of bouncing off the previous support levels and our moving averages, lower Bollinger Band, stuff like that. Indicators, still downtrending right now, so that is something to pay attention to, is are we going to be able to break out of these downtrends, especially on the RSI? Are we going to start moving towards that 30 line, right? That's going to be bearish if we do. Now, like I said, this is kind of make it or break it here, at least in the short term, of are we going to start moving towards $5,000 or even $4,000, or are we going to manage to pop out of this short-term downtrend line, the blue line right here, and then maybe consolidate a bit or slowly but surely start moving higher, closer to $8,000, and then ideally what we really want to see is a move towards $9,000 to really clear up all this resistance. We'll have to wait and see what happens. I'd be interested to hear what you think is going to happen. Let me know in the comments below. But let's take a look at Ethereum next. So right now, Ethereum did manage to break out of its downtrend line, and that is across several areas, right? We broke out of our downtrend on the price, and as for the indicators, we actually went positive on the MACD and histogram, and that RSI broke out of its downtrend. We're trying to get back above the 30 line. I definitely think that we have a good chance of doing so. Now, what I like about Ethereum right now is even though it's not in the best position as far as support is concerned, it actually managed to find quite a bit of stability right here. And as you can see, we've really put in a bit of a base, so the price isn't really moving lower right now, which is good, right? If we start moving below $350, that's when we might see a further drop. And of course, once again, a lot of it depends on if Bitcoin is going to be going lower. But Ethereum right now looks pretty sturdy, and like I said, right, when prices are holding, usually, if they're not falling lower, well, they're probably going to go higher. I think that's the general consensus on that. And as for the indicators, the Bollinger Band still downtrending a little bit, so it's going to take a little bit of time to flatten out, but hopefully what we're going to see here is a little bit more stabilization and then slowly but surely start moving higher towards that $450 mark as we try to break out of this red downtrend line. Let's take a look at Litecoin next and see what's going on. So Litecoin is still in this consolidation between 100 and its red downtrend line, or $145. Indicators definitely looking all right here. We are kind of out of our major downtrends, so they're slowly but surely coming back up, but nothing super bullish happening right now. We do have a pretty flat candlestick. I think that we're probably going to continue our consolidation right now. We have some good support at $100, of course, and that's pretty much in line with our long-term uptrend line, which of course we would hope that we wouldn't move below that, because that would be very concerning, but that's major support, right? So it would be hard to break through that, but definitely possible in the crypto market. For now, though, I think we're going to hold up pretty well. Let's go ahead and take a look at Nano next. So Nano has had its ups and downs over the past few days. It was looking a little bit bearish. Then it made an attempt at breaking above 80,000 Satoshis. That didn't sustain with the market moving lower. And now we're basically just in this consolidation here, right in the middle of that 70,000 Satoshi mark. So around 75,000 Satoshis is where we're currently consolidating, pretty much in the middle of this range right here. So I think that that's going to continue longer until the rest of the market starts making some moves. So going to be looking at Bitcoin once again for that and the bigger cryptos out there. Let's take a look at Ripple next and see what Ripple has been up to. So Ripple is currently still around that 50-cent mark, slightly below it actually. And the indicators are trying to flatten out, trying to make some kind of move higher, but for now, pretty much just flat. I feel like the Bollinger Bands are going to start to flatten out here, so we could probably get some consolidation, which is always good. And then we want to avoid moving, too much below that 50-cent mark, and ideally just continue to consolidate between 50 and 65 cents. And once the Bollinger Bands have consolidated enough, once we put in our base, we should be ready to move higher after that, if the market allows it. So let's go ahead and take a look at NEO, and we're going to see what it's been up to. Now, NEO is still above that $43 mark. It didn't actually come and test that level just yet. Got a nice little bounce on that 30 line on the RSI, which is good. It looks like the indicators are trying to slowly but surely move higher, and the Bollinger Band's flattening out a little bit. You can see the middle band starting to flatten out. So I feel like we're probably not going to go below $43 unless the rest of the market tanks, and we should be able to hold above that. Probably not going to be able to go much higher than $60 in the short term, because we still want to wait for these Bollinger Bands and the middle band to flatten out. So that's why we're going to be pretty range bound over the next few days, in between $43 and $60. But hopefully after that, we're going to be able to make some moves higher. Definitely some consolidation is needed, I think, here for NEO right now. Let's take a look at Stellar next, and let's see what's going on. So Stellar just dropped below 3,000 Satoshis. Like I said yesterday, now we're probably going to see some consolidation between 2,500 and 3,000 Satoshis. Indicators definitely took a hit, but we are still uptrending on all three indicators, which is good. So we could get a bounce there. For now, nothing really to worry about. I'd say unless we start moving below 2,500 Satoshis, there's no reason to be concerned right now. Stellar is actually one of the stronger performing cryptos across the market at this time. So let's go ahead and take a look at Vertcoin next and see if it's been able to kind of move above its support level, and it does look like it made some attempts here. So we actually have these longer upper wicks, and that means that buyers weren't able to sustain those higher prices just yet, which is kind of normal. We're still kind of consolidating, and we're facing a lot of this resistance from this flat upper Bollinger Band over here. But the good thing is we're moving away from this $1.54 mark, and we're going closer to $2.20. As you can see, we actually made our way back above $2. So I like what's going on here. We are uptrending on the indicators. It's slow but steady for the time being, and hopefully it looks like the pace might start picking up. So I think it's waiting for the Bollinger Bands maybe to expand a bit, and then we should be able to move higher. But it looks like we're going to be at least trading around, $2, a little bit higher, near $2.20 for the time being, which is actually quite good. Let's take a look at our next cryptocurrency, which is going to be Lisk, and let's see what Lisk has been up to. So right now, Lisk is still between $6.24 and $10, trading at around $8 right now. That's exactly what I predicted. Indicators actually not looking too bad here. We are coming back on some positive turnaround on all three, actually. So this is good. Price still a little bit weak right now. We want to see if we can get back above $10. That's where the middle band is, so it's not going to be easy. Really, it's fine if we hang around $8 for now, but I think we're going to need to put in some consolidation. I think we're going to bounce up and down here for a while until we break out of this red downtrend line, because that's what really matters at this point. So that's what I'm going to be looking for as far as a bullish move. Let's go ahead and take a look at Cardano next and see what's going on. So Cardano is currently trading between 2,000 and 2,500 Satoshis. Indicators all slowly but surely uptrending. That's exactly what we want to see. For now, it's moving like expected. Probably going to see a little bit more consolidation, right? We're in this phase where we need to put in the space before we can move higher, like we did with the indicators. And after that, we should be able to begin our the beginning of a slight uptrend at least. Let's go ahead and take a look at Iota next and see what's going on. So Iota is currently trading between actually slightly below $1. We do have support at 98 cents. And as for the indicators, not really giving us that much information for now. Like I said, if we start moving lower in this 90-cent range, that's when we might want to get a bit more concerned that we're going to move lower, closer to 60 or 50 cents. But for now, we're still holding up. We're definitely at the edge here, so we have to be careful. But we're still, no major, crash has happened yet for Iota, so we're still holding up basically. With that being said, this is the end of the daily crypto update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.